Right, guys, I'm going to let this, I'm just going to get into this, okay? And listen, I'll caveat this by saying that if what I'm about to say offends you, if it offends you, then that's on you. I'm going to state facts, and this might just be the mirror being held up to your face that you will only benefit from hearing and reflecting on. So what I say now is going to be cold, hard facts. And it comes from a place of calmness, and it comes from a place of harsh truths. Not even harsh truths, just truths which some of you are going to take offense to. The real pandemic of our era, it's not COVID, okay? It's weak men. I spend a lot of time defining what high-value, strong men are and what they represent. And sometimes that falls on deaf ears. I think what won't fall on deaf ears is for us to identify how we define a weak man. And there are lots of things that I see. And let me be very clear. Me highlighting these things are of no benefit to me. Zero benefit to me. But I too, many years ago, was forced by a very, very close person in my life to hold the mirror up to myself and reflect on areas that I was weak in and areas that I could be better in. And here are the things that I've seen reoccurring in society. Weak men. Men who cannot keep their word. Men who cannot hold a commitment to themselves or to someone else. Men who are fearful of failing. Men who are fearful of judgment. Men who are apologetic for who they really are. Guys, I'm serious. This doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form, saying these things. But it could help you. If this is triggering you, it could be the one thing that you need to look a little bit more closely into. Frankly, it's a concern. How many men cannot hold themselves to a standard or even just be honest with themselves? But listen, what I will accept is that strong men, high value strong men, they're a minority, and there are only so many out there. And there can only be so many. Like, not everyone can be a leader, not everyone can be a strong person, not everyone can be resilient. It's not for everybody, but it may be for you. I'll give you an example, all right? How many people do we know who hate the way they look? They hate the way they feel. They hate the relationships they are in. They hate their life. But these are the same people that show up late. They're the people that fall over on the first hurdle when things get tough. They're the people that make promises but don't keep them. They are the people that cheat on themselves. They try to cheat the system. They try to cheat everything. They cheat on their partners. They cheat in life. And they cannot even hold their word. They are not true to their word. Men who keep their word are becoming increasingly rare. And then these people wonder why their lives suck. If you are not a man of your word, if you don't have the character to even hold your word, then I'm not surprised you hate your job. I'm not surprised you're poor as shit and you struggle to make ends meet. I'm not surprised you look and feel like a shitbag. Your words, not mine. These are things that I hear regularly. I'm just stating facts here, guys. Remember what I said at the start. If you're offended by this, then you need to do some exploring and figure out why this is triggering you. I'm stating facts. But it all emanates from a mindset. It all emanates from commitment. to change. You are not resigned to being a weak man. If I just described you, that's on you. You can change. I don't get on Instagram to just talk crap. My function here, my mission is always to have a positive message. And if that can begin only after addressing the problem, if you can start to look inwards and address the problem and take steps forward, then my mission is complete. Then I'm happy. But I cannot stress enough, there is a pandemic of weak men. Weak men who justify bullshit behavior. They lie to themselves. They can't keep their words. They can't even show up for themselves. They don't show up for their closest, their nearest and dearest. They can't hold commitment. And they moan constantly. They moan and they point the finger and they blame and they are victims because they will not hold that mirror up in front of themselves. It always begins by holding that mirror up to yourself and asking yourself, is this on me? What responsibility do I have to make something of myself, to be someone, to have a great life, to positively impact others? These are the same men, guys, these weak men who are playing the victim, who in their state of sorrow and despair look to blame. Because these are the guys that don't even show up for themselves. And that's a hard fact to really come to terms with. So the easy option is always going to be to blame society, to blame this person, to blame that person, to blame the economy, to blame. And it's embarrassing. Honestly, it is fucking embarrassing. And only you can change this. So remember, I come here from a position of experience. I get a wide scope for, I work with lots of men who want to make change, and I love that, and that's what I do. I help men change, become more disciplined, become more assertive, gain confidence, become leaders for their own lives, let alone over anybody else, but to become leaders of their own lives. What I cannot tolerate is people who kick and moan and can't even fucking show up. If you can't show up, there's no hope for you. I'm sorry, there is absolutely no hope. If you can't reflect and take personal responsibility, if you're going to keep pointing the finger at other people and blaming, I'm sorry, but you're going to remain a weak man. Anyway, this time of year is a great time to reflect. I'm looking forward to a couple of days, a bit of peace over Christmas, ahead of the new year, just to reflect and look inwards and look in the areas where I am weak and where I can improve and how I can be a better man and how I can bring more joy to my own life and the lives of those that I care most about. And I suggest as the new year approaches, you begin to do the same. Be honest with yourself. Have that conversation. I believe it's an Alex Hormozy quote, but he says that it's better to suck for a season than to think you're great and suck for life. And I think that's a really good place to end this. Anyway, how do I close this? If any of this offended you, again, like I said, it's not my intention to ever cause hurt. My intention here is to call out people who are at this current point in their lives resigned to a sustained state of being weak. It doesn't need to be the case. You have the choice, and it begins with reflecting, being honest with yourself. Are you going to be a man who holds commitments, who gives his word and keeps his word? Because listen, okay, here's how I'm going to finish this. For all of you guys out there who make commitments and don't hold them, who promise to show up for themselves, who don't, who instead kick and moan and blame people, and you're in a shit state with, like I said, the partner you've got, the job you've got, the physique you've got, your health, and so on and so forth. To everyone else, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing watching you like in this shit state, perpetually there because you continue to blame and fail to take personal responsibility. It is embarrassing, and it's not surprising because it all emanates from your mentality, from your attitude. So get a fucking grip, okay? If you're one of these people who's kicking and moaning and doing nothing about it, who then aims to make changes, who can't even go a day without reverting back to your own bullshit, then you need to have a good, long, hard look at yourself, because nothing's going to change unless you change something. So listen, I'm here to help guys who do want to make a change, who are fucking serious about this. Those are the guys that I've got time for. I've got all the time in the world for these guys that are committed. My team is full of amazing, committed people who are putting time, energy, finances all on the line to make a change, because they have reflected. They have realized, you know what, I can be better. I can do better. So guys, have a wonderful day. If this hurt you, or if this resonated with you and you want to talk more about it, I'm here. Reach out to me, okay? I want to hear about it. I want to hear about what you want to do and how you want to change. But what I don't want is excuses, promises, people not being able to hold their word, lack of commitment. It's embarrassing. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for joining. And a Merry Christmas and love to all.